What was the outcome of the Hungarian Revolution? What happened in the Hungarian Revolution of 1956? This uprising was a major event in the struggle against Soviet control in Hungary. It began with peaceful protests by students who wanted reforms. They called for the removal of Stalinist leaders and the withdrawal of Soviet troops. Soon, these protests turned into a nationwide armed revolt against the communist government backed by the Soviet Union. Initially, the revolutionaries had success. They managed to topple the existing government, and Imre Nagy, a reform-minded communist, was reinstated as prime minister. Many hoped he would lead Hungary toward a more independent and less oppressive socialist path. Workers' councils took charge in various regions, and there was a strong rejection of Soviet influence. People destroyed communist symbols and literature as a sign of their resistance. However, the Soviet Union did not take this uprising lightly. On November 1956, they launched a large military intervention. Soviet troops and tanks rolled into Budapest and other parts of Hungary to crush the rebellion. This intervention resulted in the deaths of about 2,500 Hungarians and led to the suppression of the revolution. A new government was installed, led by János Kádár, who was closely aligned with Soviet interests and restored communist rule. From the Soviet perspective, this uprising was viewed as a counter-revolution that threatened the unity of the socialist bloc. They justified their intervention as necessary to preserve socialism in Hungary. The new government under Kádár focused on stabilizing the country and rebuilding the socialist system. This included reasserting control over political life and the economy. The Hungarian Revolution exposed the difficulties of maintaining a communist system under Soviet dominance. It showed how local populations could demand reforms and greater autonomy. The events in Hungary also influenced communist parties in other countries, including China, prompting reflections on the limits of reform within socialist states. In the end, the Hungarian Revolution resulted in the re-establishment of Soviet-style communist rule. However, it left a lasting impact on how people viewed Soviet communism. The uprising highlighted the tensions between national sovereignty and Soviet control in Eastern Europe. It remains a powerful example of popular resistance against oppressive regimes during the Cold War.